Hey guys, I'm Ash.
And I'm Pete.
We're two friends with a combo of 7 kids ranging from toddlers to 20s and 2 crazy husbands.
Our paths were not easy. With childhood battle wounds, divorce, second marriages and all, we somehow found each other. And together we talk real life, laugh, cry, and figure out how to survive the day.
Music is by Dustbowl Champion. To hear Dustbowl Champion's newest hits, search Dustbowl Champion on Spotify. Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
Hey.
And we are so excited to be recording again.
Yes.
It's been a minute. It hasn't been a minute for those that have kept up with the episodes.
Yeah.
But that's just because we pre-recorded an episode.
We kind of we basically got on topics and kind of got ahead and which is great.
Yes.
But then we miss our talks.
Yeah.
Our time with each other.
I know. And it sucks because I was thinking, oh my gosh, there's been kind of a lot going on in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about this with P. And then I was like, oh, now I don't remember what it was. I'm sure we talked about it.
I know.
But I don't remember.
Well, we need to do better at jotting things down and whatever. But
we're not good at organization.
Well, I think one of the things that I love, but also is hard about the show is we talk about whatever's really going on.
Right.
And we kind of are in the moment on it. Mm-hmm. And some weeks are going to be more interesting than others. Sorry, I'm not that interesting all the time, but
I'm rarely interesting. I just play along as your little sidekick, so I can join for the ride.
You're very interesting.
No, not at all. But yeah, I've missed recording.
I know.
So I'm super excited to be back.
I know. It's been a few crazy weeks. Mm-hmm. So I want to go back and talk about those because they are, I mean, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff. I just threw a engagement party.
Yes.
For my brother and his.
It was beautiful.
It was great. We had a lot of fun. Thank goodness I had my parents. My mom was amazing.
I know. So supportive
because, backstory, my brother and his now fiance,
yes,
so weird, his now fiance got engaged in July, which I had known he was going to do.
Right.
We talked about it. We talked about the ring. I knew when he was picking up the ring. I knew when he was getting the ring. I knew when he was going to propose. Kind of, I knew everything,
right,
that was kind of happening. And they get engaged, and you never know. There's two things. One is these are my brothers from my mom, right?
Right.
Like, this is my brother from my mom. This is the next brother that I grew up with, next oldest to me.
Yes.
But my what you would call stepbrothers, they got married when they both got married, the two older ones, same year.
Right. I know.
Same year.
Your brothers are crazy.
One in the summer, one in the winter. Mm-hmm. So it just so happens that this time around, my other next set of my other brothers, that are from my mom that I grew up with, everything. The middle one is getting married in May. Mm-hmm. And now the older one, who is still younger than me, but the older of the brothers, he is getting married in November of next year.
Yeah.
So they're both getting married. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So with the one that's getting married in May, I'm their wedding day coordinator.
I know. So exciting.
I'm so excited. I love that.
I mean, it really is that's your you are in your element. That is your thing. You're so good at it. You love it. And I think, same thing when you help with Chris and Tyler, it's,
yes,
because you love them so much, it means so much more. You just want it to be so special.
And I just want them to enjoy it.
Yes.
I want
Don't stress about it.
Yes.
Let you focus on it.
I will handle it all.
Yes.
I will make sure everyone gets what they need, where they need to be.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about any of that. I want you to enjoy your day.
Yeah.
You guys deserve that. So I am so excited for that.
Yes.
But with so they had, when they got engaged, it was like, they got engaged like right when, I want to say maybe right before COVID.
Yeah.
Right before COVID. Mm-hmm. And then their engagement party was like right when COVID really got kind of heavy.
Yeah.
And so they kind of canceled their plans on having an engagement party. And I went and picked them up some things and whatever, did things, but we didn't really get to have an engagement party. So in this last summer, my whole family went on vacation together, which was great. And I threw them like a engagement party,
a little surprise
at the beach house. Yeah,
so cute.
It was very cute and like sweet, but it was just us, just the immediate family. Just
but I feel like that's very them too. I mean,
for sure.
Based on their location, I'm assuming the wedding is going to be. I mean, it's going to be gorgeous. The venue that they're getting married at is amazing.
Yes,
and it's. I mean. It's not like it's a small little quaint backyard wedding or anything, very right? Nice. I mean, it's not. Yeah. But I still feel like the way you guys celebrated their engagement at the beach house, I feel like that's very them.
It was.
Because
they were like, honestly, this is everyone who we could ever want to be with us. So this was perfect. So,
right.
At least I did, I was able to do something
right.
for them.
Because they missed out. They missed out,
Yeah. So when my other brother got engaged, they're like, they're very his fiance is very independent. Mm-hmm. She she's very much like me in a sense of she's
very type A.
Yeah, she is very type A, and she typically is the host of her own whatever is going on.
She's like the leader of her family.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, she wanted to have an engagement party. They decided to have a destination wedding next year, which I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it.
It's going to be so pretty. Oh my gosh, I know. I'm so excited for them.
So pretty. So I said, well, I'll throw your engagement party. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm thinking an engagement party is like 60 people.
Yeah.
So I said, let me throw it. You don't worry about it. I got this. Now, I said this pretty early on after they got engaged, which was in July, knowing I have a very large event at the end of September for work, which means that I am a stress maniac working a bajillion hours
the entire month of September.
For September. Mm-hmm. So, she sends me her guest list. It's 150 people. And I'm like...
Well, that's more people than I invited to my wedding.
Oh, shit.
Shit. I know I had a small wedding, but that's a lot of people.
And we are what people would normally say is a big family.
You guys are. Yeah.
But... okay, that's like way big. Mm-hmm. That's way big. So for an engagement party, I'm not talking about a wedding, I'm talking about an engagement party.
Yeah.
So we ended up with just under 100 people at the engagement party. I'm freaking out.
That's a lot of people.
Because I'm thinking, oh my God. But I kind of was like, I talked to my mom. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck? Like, I didn't plan on throwing an engagement party that was like this big.
Yeah.
So I'm like kind of second guessing, like, what did I get myself into? And she's like, don't worry, I'll help you, whatever it is, we can have it here at the house.
But that's I mean, with that amount of people, not only is it like, that's a lot of people, but it's also especially right now with COVID, where can you find somewhere that's going to allow that many people?
For sure. Yeah.
Is that many people going to, I mean, I have to say, I mean, your parents' backyard is amazing, but it looked so beautiful that day and night. It was amazing. But that's something that I would have been concerned about too. Like, can you fit that many people back there?
Well, and we did, like, I went out and measured the yard a few times.
Yeah.
With tables, like thinking like, okay, if I have, this is what I'm thinking in my head that I want to do. So if I have that, then I have this many tables, and how many, feet do I need to have? So I measured the yard a few times. I'd gone out there the week before and started kind of like working on the yard with them. They did an amazing job. They did lighting.
Oh, it looked so good.
It looked great.
We're probably going to copy their lighting, by the way. Jason's like, hey, how do you like what he did? He told me what he did. He was talking to your dad about it. So. Yeah,
no, it looked great. And then it's like, you think about, like everyone had a hand in it. Like my husband went out and I sent him out to freaking, the opposite side of town to go get firewood. I was like, I need firewood because I need to use the fireplace. My parents have this great fireplace out back. So and I'm like, beautiful. I want this fireplace lit with all of the lighting. Mm-hmm. And I made s'more kits for, people
that to stay so under,
cute. Afterwards. And I wanted it to be very special. And I think it was for them. I think they had a great time. And I ended up with just under 100 people. And it was wonderful. And I'll say this is like, obviously it's what I was stressed because I was like nervous with timing. Mm-hmm. And I was also nervous, like, it's a lot of people and we're talking about 2 different families now. I don't know all of her family and I don't know all of her friends. And I'm trying to have a sit down dinner and my husband thought I was out of my fucking mind to try to sit people down for a sit down dinner with that many people. He's like,
that's massive.
He's like, you can't do that. You can't. That's a wedding. You can't sit people down. You're going to have to do cocktail.
No, you did a great job. And I was like,
they want a dinner. I need to give them a dinner.
It was great. I understand Tony completely because that is massive. Again,
right.
More people than I invited to my wedding. Yeah. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
And I could see, I can't imagine the planning of it just because that's not my wheelhouse.
Okay. And I'll say this, like, and I think that it's more than ethnicity, but I'll say this. Mexican people, and I say this because I'm Mexican, our families have a tendency to not RSVP.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I knew with myself, it has a lot to do with the type of work that I do, with the stuff that I've done in the past, with, I don't know, getting married in the first, doing my own wedding. Like, you understand how important it is to RSVP. Mm-hmm. People do not RSVP.
I know.
Drives me crazy.
And
I think this is why I can't be a wedding planner because I think I would be so mean because I can't handle people being so rude and not RSVPing.
But
it drives me crazy.
Here's the thing. I feel like if you were a wedding planner, people would, one, hire you because they see, like,
I'm like,
but not just that, but because they see the result. Like Alexandria and Julian were in love with it. They loved it so much. They appreciated everything. You could tell they were just like so happy.
Yeah.
So there's that, like that.
Yes.
The end result, what you provided was, I think, more than they could have ever imagined. Like they thought they were having like a dinner with family and it ended up being gorgeous, right?
Yeah, right.
Which I doubt anyone expects anything less from you just because that's just how you are. But another thing is like something that I think, and I know some people, like you say, people think you're not nice or whatever. Like, like, oh, I'm a bitch, blah, 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 whatever. But there's I think a big group of people who appreciate that. And it's not so much that you're not nice or you're like, oh, you're mean, you're this. It's that things need to be done. You want the information, you want it when you need it, and that's it. That's it. And people appreciate that. Like Jason and I joke all the time about like, we would love our like navigation system to be like, just turn right, fucking turn right already, right? Because it's like, just be like, do it, right? You want that because someone needs to take control. And a lot of people appreciate that. And it's not that like, I mean, you have great customer service. You deal with vendors and the public and things like that. And you do a great job at it. But you are also like, nope, not happening. Nope, that's not what you signed up for. No, you didn't pay for that. If you want to pay for something else, I can certainly do that for you, but you have to pay for it. Right. You're like that. And I don't think that's a bad thing. So I do think you could be a wedding planner because I think that's something that, like, that's something that the bride doesn't have to worry about. That, like, great, we're not going to know this, we're not going to know that. No, they're going to know because you're going to be like, excuse me, no. Right. I mean, that's my opinion because I appreciate that about you.
Well, and here's the thing. So I knew for myself what I needed to give myself. Right. Mm-hmm. So I send the invites out in August.
Yes.
This is a October engagement party. I send them out in August with an RSVP date of 1 month before, 4 weeks before the event. Mm-hmm. Because I knew. So I thought if I give myself at least a month, that means it's 2 weeks before my big event at work, 2 weeks after my big event. Like I should have some marbles.
Right.
Which
you're very brave to do that.
And so I literally, I mean, and I told both of them, I said, if I don't have RSVPs in,
sorry if there's moving.
No, you're fine. By a certain date, I'm going to tell you, these are the people who have an RSVP. You need to find out if they're coming or not. And if they say they're not coming, they're not coming. Like, I'm not going to have enough food for 20 extra people.
Right.
When they don't RSVP.
No.
Like, it's not like that, And I am working on a budget here.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not wealthy enough to like pay for all these extra meals and rentals, So I kid you not, the night before the engagement, I get a text from someone saying, hey, I'm a friend of the happy couple, and I just wanted to make sure it's okay that I RSVP for tomorrow's party. I'll be there, whatever. And by the way, if you RSVP to a party when you don't know the person, please make sure you say who you are.
Yes.
Can
my gosh.
Say that really quick. Because always say, hi, I'm P.
Yes. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ash.
Yeah.
I'm RSVPing for.
Yes.
Like, please don't just say RSVPing for 2 because I don't know who you are.
Right. Yeah. Were you even on the invite list?
Yeah.
Because you're giving me nothing.
Yeah. I don't know who that is because I mailed everyone and that's is now a phone. I don't have a phone number and an email and an address.
Even when you do phone numbers,
you
still need to because I sent that message out in mass. Like I didn't have everyone's name programmed in my phone, and we're not friends either, so I'm not saving your phone number. No. I don't want that mess in my phone later. I'm not saving it, so you need to put your info. I agree 100%.
It just, I'm like, I don't know who you think you are, but we don't know, like, I'm not Batman. I don't know automatically who you are.
My name's not AT&T, so if you could let me know.
Please tell me who you are. but I did really get someone that RSVP'd the day before, and it was like, I'm like, oh my goodness. Number one, this person's probably never gotten married yet, because
Do you know if they did?
They have not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But but I'm like, if you plan, really probably if you plan your own wedding, maybe if you have someone else, it doesn't, you're hands off or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you plan your own wedding or your own parties, like numbers mean so much.
Right.
So
I feel like if you pay for anything,
this is true.
Numbers matter.
Yes. Yes. So I never responded because I was being nice, and I just thought it would be better that I didn't respond at this point.
Had you responded, if you could say whatever, do you feel comfortable saying what you would have said?
Well, because her text was, I hope it's okay that I RSVP for the happy couple or whatever. And I said to myself, and I said to my friends, what I wanted to say was, no, bitch, it's not okay. Because it's the day before the party and I don't have a fucking chair for you. But I guess I'll figure it out.
Right.
I don't need to sit.
I just won't respond. Fine. It's fine. The bride and groom don't need a chair.
Right.
They'll stand.
Well, and then, yeah. I mean, that's just the way things go. And I know it's like, it's me. It's my type A personality that I just
But it's so good.
But I feel like,
I know it drives you nuts because that's something that could make you go. So you're type A and I'm type A about some things, but I'm also very like anxious and things get to me, right? So like something like that, it drives you crazy, but you're not going to end up in the mental institution like maybe someone like me might. You know what I mean? Like it's going to drive you nuts and you're going to be irritated and like, what the F? But you're like, you're able to manage it. Yeah. You're going to be quite angry. Like, I'll smile to your face. Yes. Mm-hmm. But like, you're going to get past it. It's not something that's going to like send you to an institution. So I think it's a good thing. I do, really.
I don't know. So it's so funny because I had my big event, then we had the engagement party, got through it. Phew, great. Honestly, it was a wonderful time. It was a great event. You guys came in last minute for the clutch.
I know. I was like definitely party crasher. Minute.
You were a party crasher, but you know what? You helped. You took photos. You guys did whatever I needed. And
I got to be there and see it all. It was beautiful. They were so happy.
They were so happy. And that's all I could ever want. Like,
yeah,
that means everything to me, that they had a great time. Yeah. That they had fun. And, late night side of it, oh my God, my kids and their cousins, my nephews all had so much fun.
I know.
And they played and they made s'mores.
It was
and they
adorable.
Hung out, and I got to hang out with my sister-in-laws, which, we don't always get to do.
Right. So, especially when you guys all have little. So
yes.
Especially that time of the evening.
Yes.
You guys typically are probably not all available.
Yeah. We're all putting our kids to bed. And then we have, we had a shower out of town this weekend for our friend. And that was super sweet and nice. And
so beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And we are actually throwing her a shower in a few weeks.
Yes.
For with back in her hometown. So that's super sweet and
yes.
going to be a lot of fun. But I've got to tell you, like, it's been a lot. Like, there's been a lot going on.
Yeah, you're back to back to back.
Yeah, but I'm having fun with. I mean, I love this kind of stuff. It's like, it's not like I really do love it.
Right.
But I forget in the moment that we have this whole world going on
outside of all of this, like, just like good, happy, like, getting together.
Yes, because So for me with work, we have these big events, and granted, they're a lot of work because with the way the world is right now, I have to go through a lot of precautions with different things, which is totally fine. If that's what it takes to have these events, if that's what it takes to bring income, revenue to our community, to our businesses,
to get people out, because people miss it.
To get families to have, family time and do things together like they normally would.
Right.
I am all for it. I have no problem going through it. And then going through our own, like, honestly, when you plan something, I don't know, is everyone going to come because they feel comfortable? Is everyone not going to? Is maybe no one's going to come because they don't feel comfortable,
right?
Because
whatever
is going on the news or whatever is going on, and I have there's this like crazy, like, I feel like a two-face because I feel like I know what's out there as far as like I hear, I see, I know, I'm aware, but I'm also doing all of these things and planning all of these things and kind of moving on with normal life. And I want to take a break. And when I come back, I want to talk about the balance of those and kind of like the way we live today, because it's so different. I'm planning these things, but I'll give you an example. One of the guests told me at the engagement party that she noticed, she was aware that I had hand sanitizers everywhere. And I'm like,
I didn't notice that.
That's bizarre that you noticed that. But
that's funny because I didn't,
but some people do.
But I'm not using them apparently. So nobody touch my stuff, okay? Because I'm not sanitizing.
So we're going to kind of go into that when we get back.
Yes.
Okay. Hey guys, we're back.
We're here.
I'm trying to think of where we left off.
We left off that on one side of it, you're with events and all of that kind of thing, you're going on pretty much like life hasn't changed. Obviously, there are some changes, but
right.
And then on the other end, there's COVID.
Yeah. So that's good. So I think for me, I think that everyone has a choice to decide on how they want to deal with COVID and how they want to deal with parties and weddings and events and things. For the most part, it seems like in the last few months, things kind of do feel a little bit normal.
Right.
Like, we live in an area of the state where I feel like we're not, like, it's not crazy mask mandates. It's not like super strict, really anything. They're obviously, they're requesting it. They're pushing it.
Yeah.
They are, and depending on what your career is, you may be required, but it isn't like everybody has to be vaccinated and masked up in order to go pick up a burrito.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's like, it's
a little more lenient.
It's a little bit more lenient. But when we we
where we were at this weekend.
Just this weekend. And I was like, the closer you get to
the capital,
the more strict things become. It's pretty
We're
crazy.
kind of like a little sandwich because north, they're very strict. Like, I'm pretty sure people were judging me for not masking. There were like a few people sprinkled here and there that weren't masked. Like, I had gone to Target, to Hobby Lobby, to Starbucks, and most everyone, probably like 98% of people were masked. And it is a mandate in that area. Well, I don't care. And I apologize if you guys think I'm an asshole or not, but I don't care. I'm not going to wear a mask. And maybe I'm going to pretend that I am deaf and need to read lips, and I don't know that you're saying something to me if you come up to me and say something about me not wearing a mask, because now I want you to feel like an asshole because I think you are. That's my stance on it. And then you're like here in the Valley, and in some, some places it is like wear a mask, whatever. And then you get down into like LA County, and
they're all required.
Everyone's wearing masks.
And so I feel like maybe sometimes I live in this I'm moving so forward, and then I have to then I get into work on a Monday and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, there's all this stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I still have to wear a mask, and I still have to sometimes do things, that I wouldn't normally do on a normal day. But I feel like for the most part, things are kind of getting
closer to back to normal.
Where in a sense of we can just enjoy what we want to enjoy, which is our family and our friends, and getting together and doing things and having great moments. Right. Like this weekend, we had a great moment with our friends. Like we get to see someone like shine and glow and be pampered, and that's all I could ever ask for.
Right.
I want to be there for that. Yeah. And I would move water to be there for her, to be there for that. There are things that I look back at that I missed with her that hurt my heart so bad.
Yeah.
Because I had kids, or I had this, or I had that, and I don't want to ever have that same feeling again.
Yeah.
So I'll do whatever it is.
Right.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
And I'll whatever, COVID or no COVID, I don't care. I'm gonna be there for my friend.
And we're in luck that she's on the same type of wavelength that we are. If she weren't, it might be a little harder.
Well,
but we're in luck that she is, because we can be there and we do get to experience these amazing life events that she's going through.
And we are going in on this friend's shower.
Yes.
Next month, and planning a shower for her down, and she lives in Southern California. So she's in Southern California. And when we were planning this, when we said we want to throw the shower for you, COVID was a big factor because of where she lives, and
because they had not gone back to mask mandates, where right now, if regardless of vaccination status, you have to wear a mask.
Yes,
they weren't in that position yet.
Yeah.
And things had opened back up.
Yes.
And so we were like, okay, cool. But then it did come to where things started going, are we going to shut down again?
Right.
And if we do, what happens?
Right.
And it was like, well, you lose a good chunk of money if we shut down, because we're not going to refund your deposit.
Right.
So no, thank you.
You can go ahead and just postpone it. And it's like, well, I can't postpone a shower.
She's not going to have the baby in her forever.
Yeah.
Baby's not staying in as long as COVID lasts.
Yeah, I can't keep the baby in as long as COVID's around.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So we're planning the shower. We're having it at her house and inviting people. And it's kind of the same thing. It's either people that you invite everyone that maybe they are close to, or you are close to, or whatever, but you don't know who's going to show, because
who's comfortable.
Yeah. And I am all for, if you are not comfortable, it's okay.
That is okay.
Totally fine. You're not, I don't judge anyone for being vaccinated or not vaccinated.
Right.
I don't judge anyone for not feeling comfortable,
mm-hmm.
you know, if they are scared, if they are nervous, or if they just feel like, look, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Totally your call.
Right.
It is your decision. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
No harsh feelings. But I have to say that in this last month of us having things, I've had some very odd and very uncomfortable situations with people who are not okay with having any get-togethers with anyone who is not vaccinated.
Yeah.
And I am not going to, this is what we always say at work. So I'm one to say, hey, let's carry on with our work, mm-hmm. and let's do things safely if we can. And we're going to, if you want to wear a mask, you wear a mask. Nobody judges you. If you want to hand sanitize every 2 seconds, you can hand sanitize. We mm-hmm. will always have it on hand.
Yeah.
We will always have it out at our events. No one judges. No judgment on how you're comfortable participating, running your business, or not participating.
Right.
Whatever you're comfortable with. But we have to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
We have to, because if we don't, then we die.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Our business, our for us, we can't survive mm-hmm. without moving forward.
Yeah.
And I have
as most businesses are in that situation as well.
Absolutely.
I don't know a business that can stand still and survive.
Yeah. They can just go into hibernation for 2 years and then possibly come out. And let's be real, COVID is never going to go away. It's never going to go away. So I look at it and I think it's the same in my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going anywhere. And I can't stop my life.
Right.
I have to move forward.
Right.
And I have to continue with things, and I have to continue to live, and I have to continue to see my family. Those are the people that mean everything to me.
Right.
This is why I do what I do.
Right.
This is why I go to work every day. This is why I do, because this is why I've worked for the life that I have, so that we can enjoy our children, and mm-hmm. our children can enjoy their lives, and they can go get a great education, and they can do all of these. I mean, this is why we work.
Yes.
For what we have.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with even planning a party. Mm-hmm. And if I want to have a party with people, it is because I love these people.
Yeah.
I'm not inviting, I'm not putting this on Nextdoor app for everyone to come.
Yeah.
This is not a concert
not
in
an
the park.
Open house.
This is not. This is my friends and my family and the people that I care about. And I've had some uncomfortable conversations of who's vaccinated and who's not.
Right.
And I am so uncomfortable with that, because it's like it's almost an anger, because I love the person because of who they are. I love all of my friends I was friends with before COVID.
Yeah.
Before Trump, before Biden, before before Fossey, before any of the crap that's going on in the world, before politics. I mean, and I mean, I say that in a sense of, obviously politics were still happening.
Right. But
things
so
got
polar.
It got very polar.
Yes.
I mean, it was very one-sided. You're either right or you're left, or you're this or you're that, or you're vaxxed and you're not, or you're, and before those times, because I feel like those are very, very recent times for a lot of it, I have been friends with so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And I have obviously been friends with them because I love and adore the person that they are.
Right.
And those things, whatever they stand for, are their beliefs, and that's okay. And I still believe that we obviously still believe, even if we believe differently.
Yeah.
We obviously still have same morals and values, because we wouldn't be friends if we didn't.
Right. Yeah, you're not 100. I mean, even when it came to voting in the 2016 election, Jason and I were not voting for the same person. Mm-hmm. And we bickered about it. And I was like, just don't talk to me about it, because I am in support of the person I'm in support of, because I believe in what they're saying, and you're in support of that person. And it is what it is. And of course I love you and I'm not going to divorce you over this, but let's just not talk about it, because I don't want to end up in jail for stabbing you. Like, yeah. I don't want to go there. But right. It's like, you can still disagree and like 100% love that person, support that person, want to, spend time and be with that person, whatever it is. People can have different beliefs, and that is one of the great things about our country. I think that is so important, because if we all believed and we all followed and just did this one thing, I mean, at that point we're robots. And I mean, I don't want to live in that life. I don't know. That seems right? Right. I think it's so important that we accept and appreciate other people's opinions, because it's okay that they have them. I obviously, as far as gatherings and masking and vaccinations, I feel the way I feel. And I'm okay with other people feeling the way that they feel, because it's their decision. That's totally fine. What I'm not okay with is people acting in a way where maybe they don't think this, but they put off that idea. The way they seem, it seems as though they think they are better than, and you're not. You're just different. And I think that's a major issue. And I don't think everything's so black and white.
I don't. And I bring this up because I think, we're having these, like I said, we're having these parties, we're having these get-togethers, we're doing these things. We're about to go into the holidays. We're about to go into all of this stuff. And I can't help but think, like, it's so bizarre to me that, like, I guess it's not that I've forgotten, because I haven't forgotten, because I've had COVID.
I have.
I've been very sick with COVID.
Yeah, you were worse than I was.
Yeah.
Which I think is funny, because I'm heavy and unhealthy and you're thin and very healthy. I mean, you have no idea how it's going to be.
You have no idea how it's going to attack you. I'm aware. I don't think that it's a made up anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
We know it's a real thing. We're not pretending it's fake.
Hats on, and I feel like
it doesn't exist. Exist. You're just being this way. You're being that way. We know it's a real. I mean, we've both had it. Our families have had it.
Our families have had it. It's run through our homes.
We also have people that we love that are vaccinated, and people we love that are not vaccinated.
Yes.
And that's okay.
It does not matter. I mean, some of our closest family members and friends are vaccinated or not vaccinated, and it doesn't freaking matter to us.
No.
None of that matters to us, because in my opinion, it's a choice that you decide to take. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with me. Right. And some people can say, well, the unvaccinated, there's all these different political blah, blah, blahs of, like, the unvaccinated or, spreading it or whatever. Anyone and everyone can spread it. Anyone and everyone can spread it.
Yeah.
And this is it the sad part that maybe an unvaccinated person probably may have a more severe reaction? It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible they won't. It just depends on the person.
Right.
Nobody really knows. There isn't a clear answer.
Right.
And that's okay. That's okay. It is what it is. But my thing is that it's been rough because I feel like, we actually are having a get together with some close friends, and someone did ask, like, who's going to be vaccinated at the party, and it's like, I'm not going to ask that of people.
Yeah.
And you don't have to come, and that's okay.
Right.
But you can't be invited to something and ask that.
Yeah.
You just either have to say
you go or you don't.
Or you whatever.
Yeah.
And I just feel like everyone has the right to their own opinion. But if you get invited to a party, please do not ask if everyone there is going to be vaccinated.
No.
I am not a medical doctor. I am not going to sit there and ask for your Vax Pass
no.
to get into my house.
No.
It's not going to happen because, number one, I'm inviting only the people that I love.
Right.
Number two, I am not of the medical field. I do not know all of the ins and outs. And you know what? If you are and you feel that you do, kudos to you.
Right.
Great. Then you can ask for whatever it is that you want. You could do whatever it is. And you know what? You can invite whoever you want to your parties. But I guess if someone invites you to a party, you have the right to say no.
That's the thing is, I think if you are invited to a party and you feel that if everyone there is not vaccinated, that you don't want to attend, I feel that you should just not attend. And don't ask about it. Just don't attend.
And just as I felt that the person who RSVP'd the day before the party was very rude.
Yeah.
And probably not my cup of tea of a person.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that the person who asks if I'm inviting anyone who isn't vaccinated is probably not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And probably rude too.
Yeah, that is rude.
I think it's rude, and I think it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
And I say that because I think that as we go into these next few months, it's going to be one of those things where people have to take it upon themselves to make decisions. And and neither one is right or wrong as far as like you make your own decision.
Right.
You can say, I'm going to not have big family gatherings because I don't want to bring COVID into my home or the chance of COVID into my home. And that's okay.
Right. That's your choice. It is.
It's totally fine. We can FaceTime, we can whatever, and, we can be great. But if I do choose to be with my family, and I do choose to be with my friends, and I do choose to move forward with life and see that, then that's my choice.
Right. And respect it as you're respecting others.
Yes. Respect it.
Yeah. Something that bothers me a lot about that is that I mentioned before, it's not all black and white, and it really isn't, because people like you don't know. So let's say I said, are you inviting anyone who's not vaccinated? One thing is that I don't know everyone that you're inviting.
Right.
Okay. And so one, I don't know all of those people's personal or medical situations.
Right.
I do believe when it comes to this type of thing, there is a real religious belief.
Yes.
As far as this goes.
Yes.
There is a real standing with that.
I agree.
And I don't know everybody's religious beliefs. And I'm not going to assume that. I feel like that's one area where people keep going like, that's not a real reason not to be vaccinated. but it is. Mm-hmm. That is a real reason. Mm-hmm. And I feel like people say, you know, like, well, you should be vaccinated to protect all these other people. You don't know that person's medical situation. You don't know how that person has reacted to other vaccinations, how that person's body's going to react to the things in that vaccination. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to sit here and act as though it's black and white? Because it's not. There are all these colors, and you have to consider that. And if you are being invited somewhere, if you are not comfortable being around people who are not vaccinated, I'm going to sound like a jerk. Don't go to Target. The other thing is just don't go to these places you're invited, because it's very rude to ask somebody else to investigate these things for you. If you're not comfortable, just don't go.
Well, I don't ask anyone if they have herpes.
No.
Before they drink out of my cup.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like please don't drink out of. I mean, I do offer my drink to.
Granted, I wash dishes, you know, and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, I don't say, I'm sorry, can I see, do you have herpes before you?
Or like, do you have genital herpes? Could you please not go to the bathroom at my house? You know, like none of that's happening. So that's also, I just think it's not black and white, and a lot of people act as though it is. And it is very frustrating.
It's frustrating, and it's really sad. And I just feel like we're having all of these great moments. And I will say this. We had this conversation a while back when we talked about your grandmother.
Yeah, I almost brought that up earlier.
Because I just thought, you know, there's a sense of like, you know, YOLO, right? Everyone says YOLO. And it's obviously, I'm not going to go like, you know, let's go jump off my roof and see if I land on my feet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, let's see how we we only have one life.
Yeah.
But in a sense of, there is in a sense of like, what are you living your life for?
Yeah.
Well, I'm living my life for my family, because for the people that I love.
Yeah.
You know, and family comes in all shapes and sizes. It can be me and my children and my husband. It could be me and my husband. It could be me and my kids. It could be me and my parents. It could be me and my dog. I mean, family comes in all different shapes and sizes. And I feel like if you hibernate, there's something to what happened to a lot of people during COVID bad. When they went into hibernation mode. It's not good.
We're not bears. We are not meant to do that.
We are not.
And that's why it was so ugly for a lot of people.
Yes.
We both have kids that really suffered.
Yes.
And we may not have realized it like right then, but humans are meant to be social people.
Yes.
And it's not a good place to be.
Right.
And when you mentioned my grandma, so I do want to share a conversation that Priscilla and I did have. It was coming into, I think, Thanksgiving time after COVID had started happening. Things had gone on lockdown. And my grandmother, right now, she is 78 years old. So she was 77 years old when we had this conversation, and my mom had said, my mom was she was debating with herself, if they allow us to, my grandma had a stroke a few years back. She lives in a nursing facility. If they allow us to bring her out for the holiday, we would always bring her to one of our houses for the holiday to spend Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, those holidays with her. If they allow us to bring her out, do I bring her out? If we bring her out, are we going to make her susceptible to COVID and then she's going to die? Is it a good decision? What do we want to do? And I said, of course I want to see her, but I'm terrified that something could happen. And Priscilla said, Ashley, if your grandma could talk, what would she say? Would she want to stay at the facility, or would she want to come to your house? 100% I can say my grandma would want to come to my house. Knowing everything that's going on, my grandma would still want to come to my house.
Yeah.
And it's because, what are you living for?
Right.
If it's not like her living in that facility, yes, she's alive, but it's not living. She's not with all this. She's not around she's in a bed, 24/7, except for when they shower her. That's not really living. She's alive, but it's those moments when she would be with us for a holiday or we are visiting her, those types of things. Those are the times that mattered. Her laying in the bed, she could care less. That's not what she's there for.
Right.
And I was like, I was so back and forth about it, but as soon as you said that, it was like, light bulb. You're 100% correct. Had my grandma had the option, she would be there. And if she caught COVID, she would have thought, so I caught it. If she ended up passing away,
she would say,
it would have been worth it.
Yeah, I had those moments with my family, the people that I love.
Yes, that's all that matters to her.
Be with them than be alive alone.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's when it really went off in my head that, yeah, it's scary and all of these things could happen. And I would feel guilty. And Priscilla's like, you can't be that way. Like, you can't think that way. I think it's hard not to feel that way. But at the same time, you have to. Like, just a couple days ago, I was with her. I was babysitting my nephew and I went to a doctor's appointment with her. And I brought my nephew and she got to hold my nephew. And she was just so freaking happy.
Yeah.
Could he be carrying COVID? Yeah, he goes to daycare. Like, his mom's a nurse. Whatever.
Right.
But she doesn't care. Those are the moments that count for her, is being with those that she loves. And that's the hard thing about this, is that it's separating people from people they love.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know that was a rant.
No,
that was a really important conversation that we had, and that's when the light bulb went off. Like, what you said was
very important, and I'll never forget telling you that, because I didn't regret it, but I knew like how heavy that was to say. But I honestly felt that in my heart, and I would
because you knew what she would have said, and I was just so stuck in like my worry. I was just worried. I wanted her to be okay, and you knew that isn't what matters to her.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, guys. Sorry.
I know. No, but I know we're wrapping it up. But honestly, I mean, holidays are coming, times are coming for us to spend with our family. Stay safe, but honestly, enjoy life and enjoy your loved ones, because they love you and you love them, and
that's all that matters.
So
thanks for listening.
Thanks for swapping. YOLO. Segment music by Callie Grace. For more of Callie Grace's hits, follow Callie Grace on iTunes and Spotify today.